Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining me here today at Re-Written Vintage Homestead. I am out here in the garden digging my potatoes, and I just felt like having a talk. So I'm glad you joined me. You know what, we had a great time doing the Every Bit Counts challenge, and I got so much done. And now in the garden I just have my potatoes, sweet potatoes, sunflowers, tomatoes, peppers, and some okra left to harvest. So the garden is winding down, and you know, it's the same every year. When May comes, when spring comes, I'm so excited to garden and get my plants out, and I'm almost in a rush to put them out too early. But then when September comes, I'm looking forward to being done too, because I'm ready to get cozy and just read and do some art projects and other things, and try out some new recipes and not have to work so hard. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, that's a nice looking one, isn't it? I was just thinking how proud I am of myself. Not to be obnoxious or anything. This is the 4th year of my gardens, and these are the biggest gardens I've ever had, but I've gardened my whole life. And I was raised with gardening parents, so it's nothing new for me, but these are the biggest gardens that I've had. And as far as preserving, this is my biggest year of preserving too. And I'm proud that I haven't let distractions get in my way, and I've stayed focused. So I thought it might be a good idea to share some tips with you guys about how I've learned to hoe my own row and how you can do it too. You know, it's so easy with everything that's going on in the world today, in the news and in our own little world, but in the big picture things too. It's so easy to get anxious and to lose focus. For me it is, because I love history and I love politics, and you know, I can get worked up about it. But I found that sometimes getting worked up about it was keeping me from getting things done and focusing on the big picture of what I wanted to do. So that is one key that I learned, is to always review your why. Why am I out here now digging potatoes? Why did I plant these massive gardens when I could have just had a small one? Why did I sell my home and downsize to a very small house that's only big enough for 2 people, barely? Why? Why did I do these things? Well, money was a huge part of that. All the money that we could save in taxes, and my home's paid for, this property's paid for. So with the goal of retirement, because I don't want to work forever. I don't want to work till I'm 70. So I had that retirement plan in the back of my head. That was one of my reasons why. But also, you know, just the little things that bring me enjoyment, like nature. I love being outside. I love being out in nature. I love learning new things. And with gardening, you learn new things all the time, every year. I don't care how many years you've been a farmer or a gardener, you're always going to learn something new. And I love that too. And I love feeling close to God. I feel like nature is your best avenue, and animals, and church, to feeling close to God. I really feel him out here though. I really do. And also to the little things in life, little dreams that I've had. My YouTube channel, being able to make friends all over the world that have the same interests that I do. That's one of my whys. Your whys don't have to be big and fantastical. They can be small. One of my small whys is, as I keep learning and growing, I want to put a little farm stand out in my front yard where I can sell my produce and my jams and my jellies and my artwork and things like that. And that's what I'm working towards. So ask yourself, why are you even doing this? Not only in gardening or homesteading, your job, your friends, your family, everything. Look at everything and say, why am I doing this? And is it keeping me from focusing on the things that are really important to me? Another tip I have for hoeing your own row is to stop comparing yourself to others. I have probably 2 YouTube channels that I watch, 2 YouTube homesteading channels that I watch that I really enjoy because, I mean, they're true blue. One gal just is like me and just has, you know, a garden, fairly large garden, but she's not on a farm and she doesn't have cows and pigs and that kind of thing. The other one is actually in England, and I could just listen to her talk for hours, but she's a single gal and she doesn't work, and she's supporting herself by gardening and an Etsy shop and different things like that, and I just find her so inspirational. But I don't compare myself to those 2, and that's probably why I watch those 2, because I'm not drawn to do that. Where there's other channels where I could very easily say, golly, she's so pretty. Golly, you know, look how much they harvested this year. Look how many animals they have. Oh my gosh, look at that house. You know, I don't do that. So one way I don't do that is I avoid it. And I encourage you to do that too. Don't be drawn to people or things or websites or reading anything that gets into your head that you want to start comparing yourself to others. Now, I'll be honest with you, like I said, gardening, farming, you're learning something all the time. I had a really nice garden every year for the last 4 years, but every year I've done something that sucked. This year is no exception. So this year we put up cattle panels for our tomatoes, and they grew tall. You've seen them. Tall, beautiful, big tomatoes, and I'm really proud about that. The problem is we didn't plan them very well because I can't pick on both sides of my cattle panels. I planted them so close to each other that I have to walk through rows to get to tomatoes. So next year I will plant them away from each other so that I don't need tomato cages, but I can actually get to the tomatoes. Now, if I was comparing myself to another channel that had absolutely beautiful tomatoes and they were just, you know, luscious, and their tomato cages or their cattle panels were perfect, I'd be tempted to throw in the towel. But I admit I don't know everything. I keep trying to learn, and I don't compare myself to others. That'll help you stay hoeing your own row. This next tip is going to sound probably a little funny, but I realize that what others think about me is none of my business. Now, you would think it would be just the opposite. What others think about me, that is my business, darn it. And if they're saying this and that and this and that, I'm going to go, you know, set them straight. You get to the point where you don't care. You don't care what others think about you. You know you better than anybody else, right? And you can't let what other people think or what other people say discourage you from enjoying the best life that you possibly can. So I've had people say, how on earth is she gonna get all that hoed and get all those weeds out of there? She'll never be able to keep up. You know, she's getting older. It's gonna be hard. I just keep going. They don't know me. They don't know me like I know me, and I just keep going. And that's what you should do too. Who cares what they think about you? It's none of your business. Don't worry about it. Keep going. Next one, you know you're going to hear from everybody if you would ask them about this. How do you stay focused? How do you quit worrying about other people? How do you stay attentive to what your goals are? Get off social media. Even if it's only for a couple days, you will just be so surprised how refreshed you feel, how much better about yourself and your situation you feel. I don't know how young people are even doing it anymore, honestly, because, you know, social media, Facebook especially, TikTok, those are your best self, you know, your best pictures, your best tomato, you know, your best potato. It isn't the worst of you or the weak parts of you. It's your best. So stay off of social media. Don't get involved in those political debates. I've done that. I've gotten on there and shot off my mouth, and I still think I'm right. But it exhausts me by the end of the day. I'm just tired. So take a break if you need to. Take a couple days off of social media. How often do you say, I am really proud of myself? You know, like I did. I stuck with this. I've done a good job. It wasn't all perfect. It didn't all turn out, but I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed spending my summer doing this. You know, I've had to be by myself a lot because of my cancer. So my garden really brings me joy and it brings me peace. And I'm proud of myself. I'm proud that instead of sitting in the house saying, woe is me, I'm sick, something could happen anytime, I'm still working, even though I'm working from home. And I'm still, you know, around my family. I'm still working out in the garden. I'm still listening to music. I'm still enjoying life. So be proud of your accomplishments, no matter how small they are. Did you put on makeup today? Did you talk to a friend? Did you work really hard on a project? Did you learn something new? You know, pat yourself on the back and you won't be so worried about what others are doing. You are in charge of your own happiness, whatever that is. You're not going to get it from your mama. You're not going to get it from your daddy. You're not going to get it from your grandma, your best friend, or some man. Or your kids, okay? You are responsible for your own happiness. So figure out what that is, and you already know what it is. You know what things make you happy. You know what things make you sad. You know what, who makes you feel good about yourself and who doesn't. So you need to make a list and write those people down. Who make you feel good about yourself? Who encourages you? Who stands beside you? Who would be your friend through thick and thin? That doesn't mean you have to just get rid of everybody else. We all need people in our lives, right? But spend more time with the ones that encourage you and make you feel good about yourself. Find the things that make you happy and pursue them. Quit sitting around, wringing your hands and whining. You know, my pastor said something on Sunday that really stuck with me. And I've heard it before, but you know how it is. Sometimes for some reason you hear it louder than you've ever heard it before. But he said, we often forget we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Now think about that. There is no one else on earth like you. And that's what torques us, right? That's what sometimes gets us to hoe someone else's row. We think, you know, they're not like me. We don't believe the same things. I don't like the same things they do. We don't dress the same. We don't read the same things. We don't like the same music. That's because we're so different. Every one of us are so different. And if you start thinking about the things, your attributes, What makes you so wonderfully made? What is it that you have nobody else has? Then you'll quit worrying about other people. You'll stay focused on your dreams. You'll pursue those dreams, and believe me, you'll be a lot happier. Guys, this little potato wanted me to tell you that it's fearfully and wonderfully made too. You guys, thank you so much for joining me on One Thing Wednesday. And this is the one thing I want you to think about this week, is how can you keep hoeing your own row? Quit worrying about others. Quit losing focus. Be happy and pursue your dreams. You can do it, you guys. Just give it some thought and some prayer. Have a great week. It was great talking to you guys. And I'll see you for Side Dish Sunday.